Welcome to another HanDrinksSolo 1 minute waffle, this time on Jolandie Fouché's Wolf&Woman Rosé 2021, made from Grenache Noir grape. Now, Rosé fans will breathe a huge sigh of relief that we finally managed to feature this guy. We've been waiting in line in our sleeping bags like iPhone junkies at an Apple store on launch day, waiting for this wine to get out of the barrel, and finally it's here. Now, Jolandie Fouché is a winemaker, used to be at Kloovenburg in Riebeek Kasteel, so she's no stranger to the Swartland, and as a result, the fruit for this particular wine is taken from the Swartland. It's also harvested a little earlier than perhaps some other winemakers might harvest, so you've got a rather light alcohol, 12%, and you've got the most incredible laser-like cranberry raspberry acidity that just runs through the core and leaves your mouth watering like a housewife at an Aquaman screening. But while this wine is indeed lovely, and in fact Jolandie's 2020 vintage of the Wolf&Woman Rosé was in fact HanDrinksSolo's best rosé of the year last year, the reason I'm excited about it today is because it gives us a chance to talk about minerality. Minerality is a kind of emperor's new clothes type term where it's all out there and people use it, but no one can really agree on what it means. I once interviewed 10 different winemakers, asked them to give me definitions of minerality, and I got about as many definitions as there were winemakers. But as the conversation has developed and grown within the wine industry about exactly what minerality means, there have been some great answers that have come out of it. So let's try and simplify it, boil it down, get rid of the hocus pocus, and use the term minerality in a useful form. I'd go so far as to say there's nothing really wrong with the term minerality. The trouble is that there's nothing really right about it either. It's kind of like saying that a wine is fruity. You're not wrong, but surely you can be more specific. So it's at this point that we need to acknowledge minerality is not a wine descriptor at all. In fact, it is a category heading under which there are a whole bunch of terms that really are quite useful. All you need to do, if giving flavor notes on a wine in order to set all things right, is to be more specific and tell us which mineral you're talking about. So in this particular wine, there's what I find to be a really enticing, savory, almost smoky flint note in it. Now, other mineral elements could be clay or gravel or riverstone or saline. All of these are minerals. Old vine wines often have what people describe as a chalky mouthfeel. These are all mineral elements. So these descriptors would fall under the category of minerality, but they're useful because if I say this wine smells of chalk, you can actually say yes it does or no it doesn't. Which brings me to possibly the most useful thing that comes out of talking about the wine that you're drinking. Even if I offer a descriptor that someone disagrees with, the ensuing conversation about whether I'm right or wrong leads to me both expanding my vocabulary of wine, but also expanding my experience of wine. And that's win-win. So while it may feel really pretentious or poncy, if you're really getting going on your wine journey, don't be afraid to talk about what you're smelling and tasting, because actually it will enrich your learning process as you go. But enough talking about talking. Let's drink. Oh, don't forget to leave a review on the site. I would love to hear your thoughts on this rosé. I think it's impeccable. The acidity is just beautiful and linear and laser-like and elegant, and there's amazing fruit which mixes in with these savory elements I've talked about. But let me know what you think, and if you have any questions about the wine or about Jolandie Fouché as a winemaker, I will try and answer them, and if I don't know the answer, I will find it out for you. Cheers.